2015 Yaris. Bill's speech really this morning covered a lot of the high points of the car and really all the really important parts of it. So I'm going to kind of retouch on some of these items here and talk a little bit about our design philosophy for the Yaris moving forward here. I'm going to start out front. Yaris really is going more European in its design and its functionality. If you think about traditional European car designs, they're using a lot of smaller vehicles that have lighter displacement or smaller displacement engines. But performance and handling on these cars has always been very important. And as we mentioned this morning, we're really trying to put Yaris in touch with these owners in a more emotional way. So if you look at the front end here, you're going to see a very X-type styling treatment to it. He's got this kind of X design here. I don't know if any of you made it to the Geneva Auto Show here back this past February, but we had a little Toyota concept car we introduced called the Aygo, A-Y-G-O, and it shared a little bit of this styling influence, right? So we've incorporated some of that into this Yaris front end now. And if you look at the front end from the side, you're going to see a lot of dimensional changes here between the hood line, which kind of comes to a point, and then the bumper and the upper bumper flares out here. So a lot of very active European style design going on. This is the SE grade here. The honeycomb grille really jumps out here to make this car appear as agile as it is when you actually drive it. I can tell you this today, when you get out on the roads today, driving around the island, the roads here are perfectly made for this kind of vehicle right there. It's smaller, a little bit narrower. It's a great place to test this car and really see just how agile it's become. Now we talked a little bit this morning about body spot welds. We've added 36 spot welds to the chassis on this car. And if you look at suspension tuning on a car and how to do it, it's kind of like building a home. Your chassis of the vehicle, this is your foundation. If I'm going to try to tune the suspension system on a car, the more rigid chassis I have, the more specifically I can tune the suspension. If the chassis flexes a lot, now I've got to try to compensate for that in my spring and shock tuning, and it's very challenging from an engineering side. So if we have a stiffer chassis, we can then get much more refined and much more targeted in how we have our suspension work. So first we start by stiffening up the chassis. Then we, as we mentioned in the presentation, now we're going to go to our spring and shock rates, our torsion bar, torsional rate there, and adjust all these to maintain a good ride quality and comfortable ride quality, but also keep all the great agility that this car has, all the sportiness that it has. As we mentioned earlier, the wheel rim width is up 0.5 inches or half an inch on the 15-inch wheels. The 16s remain at the current, the previous width, because they're already wider to begin with. That will also help us with contact patch on the road and help keep Yaris firmly planted as you get out there and you drive it around today. These small, light, agile cars beg to be thrown around. They are a hoot to drive. I really encourage you to enjoy the cars today. Up under the hood, we have our 1.5-liter four-cylinder. As we mentioned, we've got a 4-speed automatic and a 5-speed manual transmission out there for these cars. This is a proven drive line for us. It's been in service for a while. It's great for the value-oriented customer who wants to have fun with the car, but also have a very reliable power plant and a very reliable drive line behind it. And then moving inside, I'm going to go ahead and pop the doors open here. Feel free to crack those doors open there. Take a look at your interior components. Now's a chance to get familiar with them before you go out. We've got extensive use of soft touch materials in the door panels and dash now, revised seat fabric. We also, once again, revised our insulation techniques on our carpet. We have a single piece carpet and insulation kit now that covers a greater space on the car to reduce cabin noise. Revised instruments, revised steering wheel design, and try your dashboard. You've got a lot of very nice, high quality soft touch materials on the dash. So the inside of the Yaris is also taking a step forward here as we move through our design process. And then out back, you're also going to see on the exterior further design changes there that are more European in their structure. The taillights, hatch area. You've got 15 cubic feet of cargo storage area behind these rear seats. You've got an integrated tonneau cover, or couvre bagage if you are French. You've got a lot of space in here to hide your stuff and stash goodies. 60-40 split folding seat in the back allows you to carry large cargo if you want and configure the car. In theory, you could have a driver and then fold seats around to cover the rest of the area in cargo capacity. So even though it's a rather diminutive size car, it can actually be very flexible and very capable for drivers out there want to use this for a variety of tasks. So feel free to hop inside the car there, and I will encourage you to ask any questions you have for now, and then we're going to get you out on the road here in just a minute.